Hello and welcome to Cinema Activist. I'm your host, John Lyons, and we have some special guests here from the film Photo Negative. New feature film from Jacob Perrett.
That's right.
And company. Yeah. We're here at Cup and Spoon at Casawego Square, and it's delicious. Thank you for being our hosts. Mm-hmm. Apologies to those watching the video version of this because we are going to be enjoying it whilst we speak. You wrote this on your own?
Photo Negative, yes.
Okay, so when did this idea and what idea was the first kernel of this project?
Yeah, so I found myself in a position after my previous film, Sigil, where I wasn't necessarily sure what direction I wanted to go, but I knew that I wanted to stay like in the horror genre. But I've been on this sort of weird journey where like Sigil was very, kind of like we talked about in the previous episode, like one of those challenging films.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I want this to be, I want to direct films as my job. So I think inherently, perhaps some of that might be sacrificing what I want in favor of what people want to pay to see, you know. And so, as you can imagine, it's kind of hard as someone who kind of likes weird shit to like, you know, oh, what do people want to pay, you know, to see? So I was trying to figure that out for a while. And eventually, I was confiding in my wife, Karlee, that I didn't know, you know, I have all these script ideas, but like, nothing's really sticking. And she simply said, just try and write something that you want to make and just see what happens. And I had written the outline for Photo Negative in like 24 hours, which is like really bizarre for me. Yeah, a script from there, and so it all happened pretty quick. But it took like, what was I writing for, like not quite a year, but maybe like I don't know, 7 or 8 months or something like that. I can't really say like what in specific like inspired it directly. I remember we watched Longlegs that year, and there's inherently some Longlegs in it with the crime, you know, sort of. So I was attracted to that.
Were there any images that you saw, like, vividly that helped inform the script?
Just the crime scenes in specific. That, I think, was always there, but the latter half of the movie, which I won't say anything too deep, but it sort of veers in a different direction, which, in terms of criticism, is something that some people like, some people hate, sort of thing.
Got it. Okay.
And that veering was something that, like, I didn't know was going to happen until I approached it in the outline. I feel like when I write, I don't know if this is similar to you or you, Taylor, but like, it's a series of like what ifs. So like if I, you know, that one particular scene where the film takes a
turn,
it's a what if.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So I don't know where that came from in terms of it was just a what if.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you've referenced Karlee, hi Karlee.
Yeah.
Hey. And since you've referenced Taylor,
Right.
Hi Taylor, how's it going?
Good.
Going great.
So thanks for being on Cinema Activist.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brought to you by Cup and Spoon.
We're excited.
How did you and Jacob meet?
I knew of him because I worked at the movies in Meadville, and he was showing
This is a
some
crazy
of his,
story.
Oh no! He was showing his like first student feature film, and my boss is like, "I want to introduce you to Jacob Perrett," and I'm like, "I don't want to meet him."
John, I need to tell you something.
Whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, we'll wait until
And
after. That should have
because
been
I knew he was a filmmaker, and I was jealous. And a part of my life, I won't get into it, but I was just really jealous because I'm like, he was doing what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
and I was surrounded around people that told me that I couldn't do that,
Yeah.
and then I had to kind of follow their lead. Where
And then there's this guy who comes in. who's,
yeah, so
yeah,
that was the
doing
only
it.
that was the time I met him, and then I ended up getting on my own. I made a short film for local legend in Meadville for Pig Hill, and then Jacob reached out to me. I think it was that December, and it's like I loved Pig Hill, and if you ever want to collaborate, we should. And
And I don't even think, like, I remembered like meeting you at the theater the first
Yeah.
time, but like I don't even know if I put two and two together that was the guy who made the thing that
Yeah.
I just watched. Like, and then you were like, oh, by the way, remember when we met and it was like awkward? I was like,
It was
oh
very
yeah,
awkward.
maybe I blocked it out or something.
But and then I think it was like a couple weeks later, I was doing another short film, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be in it." So the first day we got to hang out, I duct taped him to a chair and covered him in
sentence.
head to toe with corn syrup.
He got you back.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a short where he got paper cuts all over his body because he used to bully some kid.
And I'm a method actor too, so I let them. Do the
Wow.
But and then from that point on, he got me involved in a short, and that was where I started acting.
Okay.
And then from that point on, I was like, I just loved acting so much. And then we started doing short after short and attempting different films, and then we did Weird Fiction, and then from that point on, we just kind of went off and just doing different stuff together.
But the first short that you're referencing was actually for film school. It was a film
Yeah.
school project
Oh, okay. At Edinburgh.
at Edinburgh.
I
correct.
played a
Yep.
serial killer, and I
Correct.
did this whole monologue about like there's something with a detective because I had a sister and everything.
You
but I,
kidnap the detective's
Yeah.
sister, and the detective comes to rescue her. But I think the thing is he sort of antagonizes, or you antagonize the detective so much
to hit me.
that he ends up killing you. Come to find out that his sister is still alive, and that he just committed this,
Yeah.
murderous act.
And then the next thing we did was like me playing a cannibal and some like
Yeah,
fraternity and
it was
had, like
all school projects.
yeah,
too.
all school
Yeah.
projects.
Yeah.
But it
That's
just
cool.
so much fun.
And then you got into acting. So Karlee, I'm very curious. So did you start out in the arts and acting, or singing, or like where you? Because I know you sing too, right?
Yeah, I
You're
do.
a multi-talented person.
Thank you very much. I started actually doing like concert band. So I started playing the flute when I was in 5th grade, and I did it all from then until I graduated. I joined marching band in 7th grade, which was like the earliest year that you could join it,
Awesome.
and did that all until I graduated. Some of the greatest, most formative years of building who I was as a performer definitely started there. I did choir from 5th grade on, just all that stuff. So I've always been a performer in whatever aspect. I love doing it in a group. I love doing it on my own. I just like to do it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm an entertainer, I guess.
But you're also fearless. That's a thing that I feel like I've noticed about you, is that you will.
There's lots of fears.
You'll take your okay, but you'll take
do it, but I'll
risks
do it
and you'll
afraid.
put yourself out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You'll put yourself out there, and
Thank
you
you.
will try anything. I remember when we did the auditions for Tethered last year. It was very movement and dance based, and probably not what you were expecting at all. And you like threw yourself into it, and I was like, all right, like I already knew like after seeing your work. That you were great, but then when I saw you like in real life, then like, then my opinion of you like skyrocketed, because I was like, okay, she will do anything.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, because I can tell her that, but as her husband, there's a level of like,
Like you have to say that.
I'm like, she's like, oh, obviously we've had the conversation of, do you just cast me because we're married? And it's, no, I genuinely think you are so talented.
So when did acting start?
It started with Jacob. I did do a little bit of theater in high school, which I very much enjoyed. So I guess maybe it started with stage acting and plays and musicals and things like that. I started taking voice lessons when I was 17. I kept up with that, and I stopped for a while, but have gone back to it since. So I guess like when I was graduating, I was like, I'm gonna be a musician. Like I'm gonna go to school in New York. I'm gonna be a music producer. Like I'm gonna learn that. That was my direction. And COVID like hit during that time, so I ended up not going. I also had met Jacob like right before I graduated, and I was like, I knew he was the one. That's like so
I was
easy
like,
or whatever.
you
but
don't
I was
have
like,
to go 6 hours
I
away.
was
It's
like, I
okay.
don't want to leave. We just got started.
Yeah.
So I didn't, and I guess it started then when I helped him in Spine Chiller. He had somebody else lined up for this small part in one of the segments, and I don't know, I guess it didn't work out.
Is that true? I don't remember
pretty
that.
sure that's how it went.
I'm
And he
not
was-
surprised.
And then he was like,
Wait. Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Offline.
and then he was like, oh, who are we gonna, have do this? And I was like, I'll try it. So that was fun. But then, like, during that time, I still kept thinking that, like, music was my thing. So, like, I auditioned at a couple, more, like, prestigious conservatories for, like, performance, like classical performance, things like that. Didn't get in. I basically was, like, trying to find my footing. Like, I was like, do I want to go to college? I kept thinking, like, that was the way. But I'd never end up going, and I don't regret it so far. But
There's still time.
all that time, I was helping Jacob on his films, and
Like, what role have you played? Other roles behind the scenes that, like on the production side? Like, I assume you're like Jacob's sounding board. And,
Yeah, I would say
vice versa.
a lot of like, any ideas that I have, the inception of ideas, the, forming of the script is all, we talk about it. And kind of like how you said your partner keeps you in check.
Yeah.
I would say that,
I think I keep you in check.
yeah.
Good. That's good. That's very
Yeah.
important.
So,
Yeah.
like, I'll usually read, like, the earliest drafts of things and give him feedback and take notes. And when you work on a, project as small as we usually do with, like, I don't even think Skeleton Crew is something that you could count as us. Because there's,
We've
like,
had,
5
like-
people and that's it.
I would say on Photo Negative, our smallest days were 4 people.
Yeah.
The 3 of us
Yeah.
and Liam, our
Yeah.
sound guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was,
So, like, you kind of become a person who wears many hats.
Yeah.
You go and do this, or you go and get that, or you're in charge of your own props, or your own costumes, your et cetera, et cetera. So, that kind of thing, I suppose. But yeah. And then for Sigil, we did do, like, I had written a song that ended up being, like, one of the main themes.
It plays
I don't
during,
know if I knew that.
It was during the credits.
Losing teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just a small snippet at the end, but I think Maeve's character sings it, like, throughout the movie, here and there.
Yeah.
So-
But like we had the instrumental with it in the credits.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, we did, like, a
Awesome.
full recorded version with our sound guy in the credits. So I did have a chance to, like, really let that aspect of me shine there. But just the more projects I did with him, the more I was like, wow, making movies is actually really cool. And then I started watching more movies, and I was like, this is actually, like, this is an art form of all art forms.
Yeah.
You want to perform, you want to sing, you want to dance, you want to do literally
It
whatever
really is, yeah.
you want, you can do in a movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fantastic. So just as I started acting more and more, he gave me bigger parts. I just kept trying to rise to the occasion, and then I was like, I think I might actually have something here. I like this. It's going good. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were both of you horror fans always, or did you find your way to horror?
I was not really a huge horror fan. Jacob kind of had to show me the reins. The first, I remember
What was the first one I showed you?
the first one you showed me.
First
I don't
horror
know.
movie?
The
I
first
think it
horror
was-
movie I ever watched
Oh, this is crazy.
was House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh wow.
First, and so
Yeah.
that like scarred her,
Yeah.
and to the point where I was like, I really like horror movies, and
I saw
that's
it when
like
I was,
her,
like, 13.
that's like her
Damn.
perception of what all horror movies are like, and she's like,
What?
okay,
Yeah,
I think
damn.
I think the first one I showed you was It Follows,
Oh yeah,
which
probably.
was
Oh,
like
that's a cool one.
Probably.
quite
And
a
it was good.
departure from
Yeah. My friend in marching band, every year he would have like a final bash where he'd invite the whole band to his house and we'd have a horror movie marathon. I had never, experienced such a
Yeah.
thing before, and
You described it to me because she didn't remember the name of the movie, but she was like, "It's the one with the clown and the fried chicken,"
Chicken.
and I was like,
Scary Clown and
pretty-
Fried
that's
Chicken,
pretty
and you were like,
specific.
you knew it right away. So that was my first experience. But since I found a lot of horror movies that I
Yeah.
like, so
I grew up with horror movies because my dad was in bands, and then because of his mom, my grandma, she was a horror freak as well.
Oh, cool.
And so my dad, I grew up with him having horror on all the time, and I'm a little kid and I'm being traumatized by like the sounds of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Evil Dead and that kind of stuff. But we became Christians earlier on in my life, so he threw out everything, and he had hundreds of tapes, all like the life-size McFarlane toys and all that stuff. And he burned a bunch of them and threw them all away. And so
Purge.
I wasn't allowed. Yeah, and I wasn't allowed to like watch any of that stuff. So then,
What age were you when?
I was like 9 or 10 years
Okay.
old. So, yeah, it was like that whole part of my life is like gone. But it impacted me because it always stuck with me. And anytime I would like draw like little homemade comic books and stuff like that, it would be horror themed, or there'd be a lot of blood, and then I'd get grabbed. And then it hit 9th grade, and my dad was back in his band, and then he's like, "I'm going to show you guys Evil Dead 2." And because he was waiting for Evil Dead to come, it was like coming in the mail. It was taking forever. So he's like, "I'm going to show you Evil Dead 2." And
After he had thrown it out.
This
like
is
he-
years
he,
later.
Like, bought it again.
Yeah, this is years later. So he shows us Evil Dead 2, and I just
great
was
one.
obsessed.
Yeah.
And then I see the first one, and it scared me so freaking bad, and it stuck with me. But that was like, I want to write horror movies. So like, yeah, Evil Dead was like what really got my love of horror. And I was allowed to watch like little things like I snuck and watched The Gate as a kid.
Okay.
And that gave me nightmares. And to this day, I still love
little
that
critters.
movie. The little
Yeah.
minions.
Minions, yeah.
I always tell my wife, I'm like, if you ever want to get me something cool for Christmas, I want one of those little imp demons. But yeah, just I grew up with it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So you've got kind of your own film collective here. I mean, when we did There Are No Goodbyes, like Schism, our crew was like maybe 5 or 6 people on the best of days. But then Dorota and I decided it would just be her and I and a sound person. So there was only 3 of us on crew for like that movie. So I totally get it, and I do love and in some ways miss having a small intimate crew.
I was gonna say, like, I've been on other film sets, or like you guys were talking about. They were extras in a House of Eden. Were you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Erie-based
Yep.
short, and they were telling me about all the crew and whatnot, and I was like, part of you's like part of me, I guess, wonders what that would be like, but I also like kind of just having a handful of you there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some real magic can happen when it's like
Yeah.
4 or 5 people in the room.
Yeah, it feels like you can be more open to new ideas in the moment and capturing things like that spontaneously, maybe, that you're not so much when you have all the, if it's like you want to change a shot and it's going to involve like, all right, now we got to change all the lighting
Right.
and move, all the dolly track and whatever else. It's like a giant thing, whereas you can be like quick in a smaller production and
Right.
catch things in the moment.
Especially like for you guys, and on like Photo Negative in particular, like how vulnerable you had to be for those characters. Like, it's just, I feel like, is it easier for you to only be playing, I guess, for me and Liam?
Definitely easier because we're all friends too.
Right.
Although I think I've gotten better at being more vulnerable even when I'm not just with my friends. But it does become easier.
Sure.
And it also maybe gives you the opportunity to challenge yourself, like try something you maybe wouldn't normally try or whatever.
Let's talk about the plot.
Yeah. For
Photo what
Negative,
is Photo Negative about? What's the synopsis? Have you been working on that on your elevator? When somebody says, "What's your movie? You got a movie in the
Yeah, I
festival?
know.
What's your movie about?"
It
Tell me
depends on
about
how
it.
big the building is.
Okay. Yep.
No, Photo Negative is about a forensic photographer named Jen who has sort of found herself in this position where she hates her job, and it is that cricket going to be a problem?
We're gonna have to roll with it.
Shit.
Sorry about the cricket.
She's a forensic photographer, and it's sort of a field of work that she's found herself in because, she's a photographer. It's what she's good at, but she's also sort of struggling with the nature of the job in terms of, seeing some pretty nasty, real world stuff. But she feels as though that she has to stay there because her and her partner in the film want adoption, and that's something that they're struggling to afford. And she feels like, well, if I leave the job, then but fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, she meets this rich couple and starts doing some freelance photography work for them, and they sort of develop this weird relationship, with one another, and the requests, which start out as like, let's do a maternity shoot for us, sort of become increasingly more sinister as time goes on, and it's sort of at the end of the day, I wrote it as a sort of a story about the exploitation of artists, and I don't know, maybe something that you pick up when you watch it, or maybe not, but that was, I guess, sort of my inspiration for it, was that.
Then tell me about your characters.
Oh, me. Oh gosh. So Arthur is, he's rich husband. We don't know exactly what he does. He's kind of secretive. Slimy.
Slimy?
He's slimy. Which was like when Jacob was getting me into the role, because I hadn't acted in a while.
Yeah.
So it was like, here's this character I want you to play, and I'm reading. I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit, awful human being. But like, I was so interested in this character as well, because I felt like I could, I guess, bring it justice, even though he's a terrible character.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, and there's just like this uncaring nature about him that you can see throughout the movie. That is, it's just very uncomfortable, because it's not like I look at that performance and I'm like, that character is not me at all, which was really cool.
Well, and I think when I pitched you the character, I said something to the effect of, this is an individual who, is rich and has always been that way, and like, as he states to Jen, has never wanted for anything. And when because of that, and because he's never had to really like fight for anything or struggle, I feel like he's a very bored individual, and almost views the people and the situations around him as that's where he has his fun. And unfortunately, that's where he and Jen, where he finds Jen, I guess.
His privileged world is his playground.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Great, excellent put. There's something to be said about literally the nicest people you know playing the most like nefarious, evil, scary people. Like, and they're always like, "How did you do it?" Blah 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 blah. And it's like, I feel like because those people are so nice, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but because you are such a kind person, like that's like your outlet to be like evil and like anything mean that you wanted to do, you get to be.
Like I had a situation at work a couple weeks ago where they were like, "Wow, Taylor, I never heard you yell before," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm not that kind of person." But then I switch into Arthur, and I'm
well, it's
it's not me at all.
Yeah. After the CFF world premiere, we did like a panel afterwards, and in one of the reviews they said, "Oh, we stayed for the Q&A, and it's comedic how different you two were from." Well, I think they said everyone, because Casey was up there as well. How different you guys are from your characters. You specifically, I think. I think Sam was like, Sam was the guy who hosted the Q&A. We were like backstage, and I think, didn't he say something how like you're really like. You're really chill,
Nothing like my character at all.
Yeah.
That means you did good.
Yeah.
Yes, you did your job.
What about your character?
So Jen is a forensic photographer by day, or I guess maybe by night, depending on when the crime scene happens. But during, she wants to be a freelance photographer, so she wants to, do portraits and landscapes and this, that, whatever. And she's struggling, obviously, because her and her partner, Lucy, they want to save up for adoption, and adoption is not cheap, and it's not an easy process. So she has this, deep desire to be a mom, a deep desire to be not where she is, because the job that she is doing is
chipping away at her mental state.
Yeah, it's making her very distressed. So she's kind of like a lost soul. I feel like she knows what she wants, but she doesn't feel like she has any way of getting those things. So she's definitely desperate at the start, and definitely mentally distressed, disturbed.
Yeah, you kind of get to a point in her journey where you see some of the damage that she's endured in the beginning. That by the end, you don't know if she's the most reliable narrator or not.
Yeah.
Compounded with Arthur's nefarious activities.
She definitely hits a wall, so to speak, and kind of stops feeling sorry for herself and starts making some decisions, some critical decisions.
Whew. I like the setup a lot. I really like the setup a lot. Yeah, I want to see it so bad.
I can send it to you. Yeah.
So where did you film it, and how many days did you film? And talk us a bit through the process. Did you edit yourself? Like, share some of the.
Sure. So yeah, principal photography started in January of 2025 and lasted about 6 months. What did we wrap in May?
It was May.
Late May.
We had like 18, 19 days total of filming.
Like
And-
evenings and weekends kind of a thing? or-
Yeah, we shot Sundays.
Sundays from like noon until
Until
like
whenever we
1
got
morning.
Sundays. Only Sundays.
Oh,
yeah.
wow,
Well,
okay.
is that no? We might have had like a couple. It's
Where we did like
one of the
2
perks
days.
of having your wife be the lead actress. Is I could say, hey, can you come shoot this real quick?
Yeah, like we would do random little pickup things here and there as
Yeah.
needed during the
Yeah.
week or whatever.
Did you have to,
but-
like, for continuity, like, cut your hair, like, every month or something? Or
Did Jenna? Yeah, Jenna had bangs.
I was cutting my own bangs for sure. I did like my hair was kind of dyed, like I had some highlights, but I just let it grow out,
Okay.
and I mean it seemed to look normal.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna gamble. I'm gonna see what it
Okay.
looks like, and it seemed to be fine. So
And at that time, we're like all working like regular job.
Yeah.
You were
Sure.
still at the theater at that point, I believe.
Yes, I was. yeah.
So usually when we do our movies, it's like we can only film like once a week.
Yeah.
Right.
So you just
Right.
everybody has to like schedule. Hey, we need off this day, and we.
Well, and it sucked for like Sigil when like half of the crew all worked at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Because our boss or my boss at the time was like, I can't give you all, half of you guys aren't
All the same
working.
day
Like,
off.
Right, if you're all at the same job. So did you do the same rough schedule for Sigil, too? It was like 1 day a week?
yeah. What
Okay.
we were on, what were we on?
Mondays.
Mondays
that
for that.
day. For that
Okay.
one,
which
yeah.
was, yeah.
Oh,
kinda
okay, I
strange.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because now that I think about it, because we had Liam and Isabella coming down from New York, and I think Liam was at Home Depot. We all worked like weird, like odd and end jobs. She worked at Tim Hortons. Like I don't know. We just Monday was the day. Super
What were the
random. but
roles again that, like, Liam and... Oh, that was Sigil.
That was Sigil. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Isabella was the other lead?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, understood. All right, so it was that process. Then you wrapped filming. Are you editing, like, while it's
Yeah,
going, or-
so with Sigil in particular, I was editing during the week, and then I would shoot. I didn't want to do that again because it was not only that, but like I was also storyboarding and prepping for the next Monday. Whereas with Photo Negative, not only did I storyboard the entire film prior to production, but I also I don't know. I didn't want to pressure myself with like editing it. Like I just wanted to focus on what we had
Production.
coming that
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah. So no, with this film, after wrapping, I started editing it pretty immediately, and then we were on to like ADR and stuff like that in July. Liam, who records our sound, also mixes everything. So when I was done with the portion, it would go to him. And yeah, I want to say that it was like when did we have like our cast and crew screening?
September, October. It was
Okay.
like late at September. I think it was October though.
Yeah, so as a total, it took what 9 months?
Yeah.
9 months and that doesn't include pre-production, but yeah,
cool.
yeah. And I do edit all the portions myself. I'm like I mentioned, I'm a Final Cut boy.
Yep. Yep. It's fast.
Yeah.
I think Final Cut's the fastest for me for editing. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and I use have you used Motion? I use that for some from text and animation as well. So
You're not video recording like muzzle flashes and
no, I've come a long way. I don't write guns in the script now because I know I can't do good visual effects.
Understood. Who does like your posters and who does your posters?
I do, yeah. Graphic design is something that I somewhat learned in college when I was doing journalism, because they taught you like the layout of the page and everything. But I mean, I was doing like weird fiction posters prior to that, anyways.
Sigil, we had Creepy Duck.
Sigil was Creepy Duck, yes. I guess I was talking photo negative in specific. I did the poster for. Are you familiar with Creepy Duck?
No, tell me
he's
about
amazing.
Creepy Duck.
Creepy Duck. What's he did one for? Did he do the official Scream 7 or 6?
I think so, but he's been
cool.
doing he's been getting picked up more for like official poster art.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, Creepy Duck design. I remember I sent him because you saw his posters and we reached out to him about
Nice.
doing the poster, and he was
Yeah.
all on board. And the poster's awesome for Sigil.
Yeah.
I remember we took like those pictures of like the girls like in like you looking like in the, it was like up
it was
in,
like 2 headshots
up in the office
at
like
home.
yeah,
But
just
then we
like
put them in the woods.
I can just imagine
get
him
the lighting
like
and-
getting the files and it's just girls in the middle of a room like doing like you know what I mean?
Weird stuff.
Yeah. But
It worked.
It worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then shout out to them.
Shout out. Yep, shout out.
Awesome. Okay, so all right, so we went through. Yeah, were there any challenge? How many different locations did you have in photo negative?
We had Jen's house. We had the 2 crime scenes, Arthur and Madison's house.
The office. Oh, and the
police office.
the psychologist, the therapist. But it was the same building.
way. So it was like 5
Yeah.
total locations. I think we probably spent the most time at Arthur and Madison's house.
Yeah, which was an amazing
Which
place.
they're
Yeah.
a rich couple, so we
This is your house.
Yeah.
a majority of the budget went to getting a rich person house. But I don't know. Well, actually, I told this story on the panel. The first day that we got there, I'd like gone and scouted it
Yeah.
prior, and I didn't notice this at the time. But anyways, we go back for first day of shooting there, and they had like a big pentagram hanging outside.
Wow.
Like on the wall.
You're like, this
and
is
it was
the
like-
place.
I
It was like makeshift out of like
yeah,
I don't even
like
I can't remember what the
bones
heck.
and
Yeah.
no, not bones.
It was awesome though.
Yeah, you knew they were gonna let you film a horror film.
Right,
for sure.
right, yeah, and that's something I don't know if I mentioned, but like I don't know how it is, other places like L.A. or Atlanta, or like big film cities, but here in the middle of nowhere, if you want a location, you have to rent it like in Airbnb. And have you done that at all, or no? You just how do you do locations?
It's different every time. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, it's different every time. But I don't know. It's usually conversation with the owner, and I don't know. Maybe people are more onto it now. I feel like before, at some places I could just be like $100, and they'd be like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they don't know
I'll-
the value.
I like I'll find a place on Airbnb and I'm very like open with what we're going to be
Oh,
doing
so
there.
the place is on Airbnb. Well,
Yeah.
yes, then they're definitely
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to that whole framework.
But I still like book through the site as well. Like I'll meet
Oh,
with
wow.
them and I'll.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean,
I've never done that before.
it's
but that's cool.
it's very costly. If anyone wants to drop me a tip
Yeah.
on how to cut
How
that
to
down,
not
that'd be
do
great.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
But the last places I filmed at were like operational farmhouses, so they weren't on Airbnb. So I guess I haven't done it.
Operational, was that difficult? Like shooting around, or
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
couldn't use any of the sound or anything?
I filmed around. No, we used all the location sound.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, but when we filmed Schism at an operational long-term care facility, now that was challenging.
Ooh,
Yeah.
because they probably have like very strict like
All kinds of HIPAA
HIPAA
things.
things,
Like
yeah.
the families would have to sign, because we shot it like a docudrama, and a lot of the people that were extras were residents.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
most of the extras
that's
were
really
residents.
cool.
Yeah, but then we had to have the families sign off on the releases. And
Okay.
we filmed it at Brevelier Village. They were extremely helpful. They kept track of who was allowed to be filmed and who wasn't each time we were there. But for the sound, in those facilities you have like heating, blasting.
Right.
So like we had to redub the entire. We had to ADR the whole film, basically. Yep.
That's that would be a
What
nightmare.
a trip, yeah.
Yeah,
Which kind
yeah.
of made it like
I'm sure it sounds
feel
great.
more dreamy and
'Cause
it
that
kind
was-
of fit with the
That's like the Alzheimer's.
the Alzheimer's one.
Gotcha.
Where you're not sure if anything's really happening or not because it's from the perspective of the afflicted. So
Okay.
having the sometimes dreamy feel of that pristine audio everywhere
It works for it,
like,
probably,
Yeah, it kind
yeah.
of made it like. Yeah, it kind of made it more surreal.
A
in a way.
blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
maybe.
but it was a lot of extra work of like,
Yeah.
this is all shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's shit.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, I guess I'm sure the next time that I'm making a film, I will encounter the same thing where people are all used to Airbnb now, and
I don't know if that's the way. That's just, I was like, how do I'm so tired of shooting at my townhouse apartment or like
Or
my
my
parents'
house.
house or your house. Like,
Yeah.
God.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
it sounds like this one you needed a special location for
Arthur
your
Madison,
character.
for sure. Yeah. One of the problems that we encounter, this is like a technical thing.
Let's hear it.
You're familiar with like visual banding, like with
Yeah.
your shutter speed.
Yeah.
There was moments in Jen's apartment where she's particularly in distress in this small laundry room that we had to shoot two. I feel like some shots were like 3 times.
3 times,
But,
yeah. Like we did it the first time, we had to go back to the second time, and then we looked again, and it was still
Damn.
a problem for some of them, and then we had to do it a third
Was
time.
it something? Did you use location lighting or something? What was causing the?
I was using location lighting, and even still, I was like, I would.
And look at that, we cued the
I know,
location
right?
lighting.
Location lighting.
All right.
I felt bad, number one, because I've been a cinematographer for how many years now, and that, I mean, the thing is with banding though, you don't really notice it unless you speed the footage up, you know, and you just see the little like ripple.
And even like sometimes you'd have to like get it on your monitor at home to like even see.
Oh,
if
yeah,
it
like
was a
blown up.
problem.
Yeah.
Damn.
But so not only was I disappointed in myself as far as that was concerned, but also the fact that she had to be in distress multiple times.
Lots of distress.
Well, and then it eats away at the schedule because you got to reshoot, you know, stuff. But yeah, visual.
What was the fix?
I just had to increase my shutter.
Okay.
Yeah,
It happens. We're all learning.
yeah.
That's why we're going to pause right now and take a quick look at these cameras.
We'll be back next time.